Hello and welcome to Affinity. We're going to look now at blend options, also known as blend ranges, in more detail than I've done before to explain exactly how it's working. So first of all, for the first one here we've got two layers, we've got 2 pixel layers, and on the top layer we've got this going from the dark to light this way, black to white in this case. When we're talking about this dark to light, we're going to talk about lightness. It's also the same as luminosity and the other terms used, but I'm just using the word lightness just to keep it simple. Likewise, what we're going to be doing is changing the top layer here, but changing its opacity, also known as alpha, but the word I'll use is transparency, again, just for simplicity. So we're going to start off here. Top layer is black to white in lightness here. The bottom layer is black to white sideways, and a reason for this is that when you're doing this you can see if I've got how much of the top layer and how much of the bottom layer I've got. So up here I've got the cogwheel, little cogwheel there is blend options, also blend ranges, and we're going to bring this down here so you can see what's happening. In this I'm not going to worry about what's up here or even down here, because I'm simply showing the difference between the graphs, and that's the tricky bit. It's certainly had me going for quite a long time. So we'll start here with the left graph, and when you've got a pixel layer on top of this, you often do start here, and I'll put a point here at about 25%. Then when I bring this down here, you can see something starting to happen, but I can bring it right across here, so I've got a kind of hard change across here. Because what these graphs do is horizontally they show lightness, just like you got in the curves adjustment. And so it goes from dark to light here, dark to light here. Vertically, up and down, they show transparency. So at the bottom here, you got completely transparent, and on the top here, it's opaque, so you can't see through it. So what we're doing is, because we're applying it to the top layer here, we're saying the darkest 25% make transparent, everything else be opaque so you can't see through it. And that's what we can see is up here is the top layer, down here black to white, left to right is the bottom layer. So this layer takes the lightness of the top layer and uses it to control the transparency of the top layer. Now let's just look at the other one now. This is slightly more confusing, but it's actually quite simple. I'm going to put again a point there just to hold that there. So when I bring this down here, I now find that it's at the left here. And what this is, because this is now using the lightness of the bottom layer as the control. And so the bottom 25% of the lightness, from very dark to 25% towards fully light, I've made transparent, but the transparency is applied to the top layer. So the bottom layer is the control, and it makes the top layer transparent so you can see through to the bottom layer. I can even put them both on, and so the bottom bit, the control is from the top layer, and the bit at the side here, the control, both of them are applied to the transparency of the top layer. This is when you've got pixels on top. Underneath here, although this is a single pixel layer here for simplicity, it could have a whole stack of other things here. It's whatever is visible before you put the layer on top. Now let's go and look at the single layer, which is just black to white here in terms of lightness. What I'm going to apply now is an adjustment. You can also apply filters, the same thing happens. I click on adjustment there, and I'm going to go to recolor because that's visible as to what's happening. And just for now I'm going to drag that onto top, so we just got this top and bottom effect like before, so you can see what's happening. And it makes everything red here apart from the very blacks and the very whites, and it sort of fades in the middle. So on here I've got a cogwheel blend options, exactly the same as using that one there. So the one up here actually says blend ranges, which is what it kind of used to be called, but there we go. It doesn't matter, it's still the same. So we've still got the same as before here. We're just going to use the graphs here. I'm going to start here on the right hand one, which is often what you do when you're using a adjustment or a filter. And click at the top there to make a point there, and drag this down here and drag it across, and see I've got this slice, and this is a bit like the right hand graph that we did when we had pixel layers. So what's happening now is what's underneath here, or what we had before we added the adjustment, this is using the lightness here, the darker areas here, because I said chop off the darker layers and make things transparent down here, and you use the left, leave the rest up here as opaque. But it's being applied not so much to a layer up here, but to effectively like a virtual layer, as if they were a layer created by this adjustment. And so we're getting that red effect all across here, which corresponds to this. But when we made it transparent down here, it's not appearing. As in any of these, you can move this a bit and you can see you get a kind of nice little blur in, which helps things blend together so the eye doesn't see the sharp edges. Let's put that back and try it over here. Now when I click on this here, and this can be the slightly more confusing one, but it's actually quite simple again once we see it. Bring this down and across. It's done the same sort of thing, but it's kind of longer, and the reason for this is now using colour, and the lightness of colour, or the luminosity of colour, varies with the colour. And if we look at it like this, here we've got colours stacked up here and gone from black to white, and the primary and secondary colours here. Now then I can make those go to black and white, just with a little levels adjustment here, and I put them in order of darkness. In other words, the lightness of that colour. So the darkest one is unsurprisingly black, but then the next darkest is blue, then the next darkest is going to be, well, let's turn this off and have a look. There you go, red, and magenta, and so on. So it's controlled by that. So let's go back to this one here. We're going to put on the recolor adjustment again and show what this. So if we move the hue here, this boundary here should change depending upon the lightness of that colour. So indeed, if I go to yellow here, what it's effectively saying, this makes the whole thing light, so I'm actually getting to 25% of that lightness quite quickly because it's lots of it's light. But if I move this across now through other colours, it's going to go up and down, and when I get to blue, it takes quite a lot, because this is a darker one, to get across to that level of lightness. So that's what's happening with this. If I put the other one on here like this, there's no effect because this one effectively has overridden it. But if I go down here now, there, see there, once it gets below it, then this one over here becomes the limit. And so when I get down to yellow, that's going to be, it's trying to get to here through this one, but it's being stopped by this one. Anyway, that's it, and I hope that helped to make sense of it. Typically when you're using these with adjustments or filters, you mostly use the right hand one. When you're using a pixel layer above, you mostly can start with the left hand one, but now you can see what the other one's doing and you can start to use it for particular effects. I'm not going to show an example here because it would just go on for a bit too long. We've done 10 minutes already. I try to keep these as short as necessary, so this is even longer than usual. But anyway, that's it, and thank you very much for watching.